and welcome to Americans Learn. My name is Lauren, and today I'm looking at a video by the channel Thoughty2. It's about blue whales. I've been watching some like prehistoric videos recently, and I figure why not just make the big creatures train keep on working. So let's learn about why blue whales shouldn't exist.
Hey, Thoughty2 here. If, like me, you're a fan of random interesting facts, then you probably already know that the blue whale is the biggest animal on the planet.
Yes.
You may also know that the blue whale isn't just the biggest animal alive today.
It's the biggest animal ever, right?
Or as we know, it's the biggest creature that ever lived.
And it's still trucking.
But unless you're an especially obsessive fact collector like me, you may not realize just how utterly, absurdly, rule-breakingly gigantic these animals truly are. This graphic shows the heaviest creatures that have ever lived. There's some debate about the exact weights of many of the contenders, especially those that have been extinct for millions of years.
Yeah.
But, broadly speaking, this Hall of Fame contains the most colossal creatures ever to have walked.
Absolutely still bonkers that they're bigger than like these like long-necked dinosaurs. Like pachyderms? Like no, plesiosaurs? Something. I don't remember.
Swarm the Earth. We know the blue whale tops this list. But where exactly do you think it fits on the graphic? Here maybe? Or here, perhaps?
Further?
Well, actually, that's not even close.
Oh,
because
God.
the blue whale isn't just the heaviest animal that ever lived. Remarkably, it's roughly double the weight of any other animal in history.
Oh my God.
Just think about that for a moment.
That's so crazy. Holy shit, okay.
Scientists estimate that tens of billions of individual species have existed since life first appeared on Earth. And the biggest of them all isn't just slightly ahead of the rest.
That's
It's
nuts.
twice the size of any other.
And the fact that it's still alive today is extra crazy because like most of the megafauna's gone. The closest we have, but we've got elephants and like mooses and stuff. But they are not quite as big as, what they were dealing with in prehistoric times. Like they're not as big as mammoths and all of that. So like, oh my God, that's so crazy. Like, cause usually the bigger animals, they kind of died out a little bit, the huger ones, because it was just harder to get food. Like it was harder for them to eat and to sustain themselves. So the fact that the blue whale, biggest animal to ever exist, and it's still alive today, and it eats krill.
So what's going on here? Why is the blue whale such a ridiculous anomaly?
Yeah, why is it so big?
Surprisingly recently, scientists had absolutely no idea. The blue whale's immense size was a genuine mystery. Why is the blue whale twice the size
why is it so
of
big?
any other animal that ever lived?
It's crazy.
I've seen footage of blue whales in the wild, but as you may have noticed, those pesky whales live in the ocean. And in the vast majority of footage we've seen, there's nothing else in the frame to help contextualize their gigantic dimensions.
There's no...
So here are a few blue whale vital statistics to help put things into perspective for you.
Honestly, like even just seeing like the silhouette of the guy next to the whale is usually not enough. It's like, oh, okay, but I've seen a couple of images of whales when they like do their little jump out of the ocean and just like whoosh, and then collapse back into it. And those are crazy enough, and they're not even blue whales.
The largest blue whale ever recorded was a so big it sounds made up, 33 meters long. That's about the length of 3 London buses in a traffic jam, or the height of an 11-story building.
Oh my God.
As for weight, well, unsurprisingly, nobody's ever managed to coax a fully grown blue whale onto the bathroom scales. But upper estimates suggest the heaviest of them may weigh in at about 250 tons.
Jesus.
That's the weight of the Statue of Liberty. A blue whale's heart is the size of a small car. Its tongue weighs as much as 50 adult humans. Its largest
Jesus.
arteries are wide enough for a child to crawl through, and at about 3 meters in length, its penis is bigger than you are.
Yay! Thank you for telling me about whale dick. Can't wait to have that particular trivia question come up. Actually, it might.
I'm reliably informed that size doesn't matter. But you've got to admit, that's still pretty impressive.
It'd be terrifying, is what that would be.
Blue
Ooh,
whales
I
are-
saw a thing yesterday. I don't know if he's gonna, because he's talking about songs. I was literally reading something yesterday about whale songs, and like whale songs, certain whale songs can be heard literally across the ocean. Like just like the infrasound nature of it and it being carried in water, literally they kind of map out the entire ocean just by using their songs and like bouncing it off of where other whales are at the time. Because like they'll sing and then the other whale calls back and it takes some time, but like they can literally map the entire ocean. Like their sound travels longer than the ocean is. Anyway, it was a cool. Oh man, see, maybe this is why I'm watching this video. I was literally reading an article about freaking whale song yesterday, like a nerd.
Also produce one of the loudest sounds in the entire animal kingdom, measured at around 190 decibels. The blue whale's song is louder than the engines of a jumbo jet and can be heard more than 1,500 kilometers away. Blue whales are so huge they're borderline suspicious. A blatantly ridiculous glitch left behind by whatever game developer coded our universe, just to see if we'd notice.
We
For
did!
the sake of this video, let's assume that blue whales are actually real. If
Let's
that is
assume
the
they are.
case,
I
we
love
need
it.
to answer the 250-ton question. Why the hell are they so absurdly gigantic? Hold on to your hats, because to answer that properly, we're going to have to travel back in time 50 million years to what today would be Pakistan. That's when, and where, we might meet this little guy.
Hello!
Its name is Pakicetus, and it was a small hoofed quadruped about the size of a wolf that spent most of its time skulking along riverbanks. If you're wondering why I've blown our time travel budget to show you this wolf, deer, hippo,
Because the whales used to be those guys. They used to be those guys.
allow me to explain. Pakicetus is a whale. Don't worry, I haven't started smoking
used
tea
to be,
leaves again.
common ancestor.
Pakicetus was the first, the great granddaddy of all whale species alive today. Over 10 million years or so, Pakicetus's descendants became increasingly aquatic, and by about 40 million years ago, whales were fully committed to the ocean. A few million years after that, their lineage split clean in two.
Cool.
On one side were the toothed
Okay, yeah.
whales, fearsome predators that hunted the depths using echolocation. On the other side were the baleen whales. They swapped big pointy teeth with baleen.
Baleen is the special structure of horny plates in their mouths which enables them to strain their food from water.
Okay, this is oversimplifying things a bit, but
It's
you
okay,
can
it's
think
a
of
15-minute
toothed
long
whales
video.
as being a bit like traditional fishermen, going out with a rod and catching one fish or squid at a time. Baleen whales, on the other hand, are more like modern industrial trawler boats. Their mouths are vast nets that can devour entire schools of fish
That's
and
crazy.
other prey in one big gulp.
It's crazy how big that thing is.
Fast forward to about 10 million years ago, and a new lineage of baleen whales appeared. Rorqual whales had a few key adaptations that other baleen whales lacked. Their jaws were loosely hinged and could open extremely wide, and their bodies were lined with long skin folds that allowed them to massively inflate their throats, Kirby style.
Okay,
And
yikes.
these weird adaptations unlocked an entire new skill tree
Because Kirby can eat anything. Kirby's scary.
in the whale RPG. Lunge feeding. They would sprint at swarms of fish or other prey, then open their jaws like a trapdoor and engulf a volume of water roughly equal to their own body mass in a single gulp,
Whoa!
filtering out the food with their baleen plates. Lunge feeding opened
That's
up a
crazy.
whole new menu to the rorquals, allowing them not only to hoover up plankton and copepods, but to actively hunt faster-moving prey like fish and krill. Nobody knew it at the time, mostly because nobody was alive at the time. But with the development of lunge feeding, rorquals
Okay.
had all the tools they needed to
That
become
was funny.
the undisputed heavyweight champions of the earth. But it didn't happen right away. Rorquals only became truly gigantic about 5 million years ago. And here's the strange part. This sudden gigantism seems to have affected all rorqual species simultaneously and over an incredibly short space of time.
Wow.
For a long time, this had
Yeah.
scientists
5 million
stumped.
years.
The rorquals were a diverse bunch with different behaviors and feeding habits. So what could possibly have happened 5 million years ago that caused all of them to balloon in size all at once? When strong winds sweep along a coastline, they don't just pull the surface water along with them. Thanks to the Coriolis effect, Earth's rotation deflects the water perpendicular to the coast, carrying it out to sea. That
Okay.
surface water has to be replaced. So cold, nutrient-packed water is pulled up from the depths. That, in a nutshell, is oceanic upwelling. And about 5 million years ago, thanks to a variety of changes in Earth's geology and climate, it intensified significantly. Upwelling was an absolute game changer, especially if you happened to be a gigantic rorqual whale with a mouth full of baleen. All those nutrients surging up to the surface created vast phytoplankton
Oh,
blooms, which
okay.
in turn fed huge swarms
Yeah.
of basically everything. Copepods and krill ate the plankton.
Everything gets bigger.
Shoals of fish like sardines and anchovies ate the krill and the copepods, and bigger predators hunted the fish. From an evolutionary perspective, the rorqual whales found themselves in the perfect place at the perfect time.
Bobby.
Because with giant swarms of fish and zooplankton suddenly appearing across the globe, lunge feeding became ridiculously OP.
Yeah, jeez.
There you have it. The rorqual whales got so big because they evolved lunge feeding, and then, through sheer luck, ocean conditions became absolutely perfect for lunge feeders. But that only explains why rorqual whales in general got so big. It doesn't tell us why one particular rorqual, the blue whale, is twice the size of any other animal that ever lived. There is a missing piece to this grand puzzle. One that, ironically enough, is almost laughably small.
Okay. That was a cool
Rorqual
transition.
whales all feed in the same way. But each species has leaned into a slightly different diet. Humpbacks chase schools of fish. Sei whales target copepods. Fin whales hedge their bets by eating a variety of fish and small crustaceans. But the blue whale, it eats krill.
Yeah,
and
see, that's what I
almost
said.
Nothing else. They say you are what you eat, but when it comes to the blue whale, that couldn't be any less true. Krill are tiny. But it turns out those thumb-sized crustaceans are pound for pound, or more specifically, mouthful for mouthful, the most energy-dense food source in all the 7 seas.
Wow.
Krill gather together in almost unimaginably vast swarms. And these swarms aren't just huge, they're also incredibly dense, with as many as 30,000 individual animals per cubic meter.
Wow.
So the animation is showing us a 3-dimensional representation of a large krill swarm that we passed over earlier in the voyage. The swarm is about 400 meters long by
Oh my
100 meters
God.
across, and it kind of came up into this multi-level swarm that was
That's
total depth range was about 100 meters.
crazy.
Enough to fill 36 million Olympic-sized swimming pools.
And like 1.5 blue whales, I presume.
So much.
By the way, if you do want me, I will post. I'm gonna see if I can't find that article that I was reading yesterday. I was reading it on my phone, so like it can be. I can't always find things on the computer, but if I can find that article about the blue whales and like the echolocation, because they talked a little bit about the feeding too. So it's like if I can find that article, I will link that in the description below because I thought it was cool.
Prey packed so tightly together, lunge feeding becomes incredibly efficient. In a single mighty mouthful, a blue whale can swallow half a ton of krill. That's about as much as you would eat in a year.
That's crazy.
But that isn't the only reason krill have pushed blue whales to grow so huge. Krill are a super abundant food source, but they aren't always readily available. Their populations explode in cold, nutrient-rich waters during the summer, then pretty much vanish as winter sets in. For blue whales, that necessitates a feast or famine lifestyle. They gorge for months whilst the krill are blooming, then migrate thousands of kilometers to warmer waters to breed and give birth. During that time, they can go several months with little to no food, surviving on the fat reserves they built up during the feeding season. This creates another evolutionary incentive to get bigger. Not just because big mouths make lunge feeding more efficient, but because big bodies can store lots of energy to help endure long migrations. Evolution presented the blue whale with 99 problems, and the solution to every single one of them was to get swole. The result was simple. A biological behemoth beyond compare. The biggest animal that ever lived.
Crazy.
This kind of hyper-specialization is a
Also crazy that it happened within like 10 million years. Like that feels, or like 5 million years. It happened within 5 million years. That's crazy.
It's all your eggs in one basket kind of deal. If anything ever happens to the krill, blue whales are absolutely And guess what? Things are happening to the krill.
Oh, good.
Fishing,
America,
human industry,
not
and
America,
pollution
humans in general.
are all threatening.
Fuck off, humans.
Planet is
I keep blaming just America for that. It's not just America. Like, oh yeah, fuck America. Yeah, no. Fuck humans in general for doing this to the blue whales.
literally changing so fast around the krill. And what the fundamental change is this increase in carbon dioxide. Because when it dissolves in water, it reacts to form carbonic acid. And it turns out that the eggs of krill are vulnerable to ocean acidification.
Putting the blue whale's future under serious threat.
Yeah.
These magnificent beasts are already endangered. Industrial-scale whaling in the 20th century wiped out around 99% of the species,
Jesus Christ.
reducing a global population of more than 300,000 animals to just a few thousand. Since hunting blue whales was banned in 1966, those numbers have improved, but only slightly.
Yeah.
Most of us naturally assume that the age of giants ended with the dinosaurs. But the truth is, the biggest creature of them all is still very much alive and swimming. Blue whales came within a hair's breadth of vanishing forever. But somehow, they're still here.
Come on, guys. Oh, that was cool.
Whether or not they stick around depends almost entirely on us. Thanks
Great.
for watching.
They're fucked. I have no faith. Stop. I have no faith in humanity. I really hope that like we can make them be okay. You know, I really hope that we'll be all right. I hope that we can make them come back, bounce back, like stop hurting the krill. You know, come on, guys, let's go. Anyway, like I said, I do find whales really interesting, and I will see if I can't find that article, and I'll link it below if I do. If not, you'll just have to trust me on the fact of what I said. Let me know what I should be looking at, and I'll see you there. Bye.